Hello, Monsters Abound here, and welcome. I'm very pleased to say welcome to Immortal Empires, and my first Immortal Empires campaign. A lot of people said it was going to be Skarsnik. It's not. It's Nakai. Thank you for that eloquent speech. Nakai, he really is one of the Lizard Man's greatest orators, isn't he? He's really got away with words. He's basically a Pokemon. Okay, so we've got the Immortal... So this is beta, effectively. I think it's probably going to be beta for a little while. There's definitely a few bits that need sort of like jiggling, but overall, it's the big combined map with everything. It's pretty much what I've always wanted from Total War Warhammer. And we now have it. It's the entire world. And Nakai, of course, starts in Cathay, the south of Cathay. Now, you might be going, but why? Why Monsters Abound? Explain to me why he starts in the south of Cathay. Well, I'm able to give you the lore reason. So, the reason Nakai is down here is... something old ones plan something happy crocodile noises. Good. So now we're on the same page. That's why Nakai he's down here for faction variety, all right? That's the reason. If you see any videos on YouTube with some surprised looking face and it going the real reason Nakai's in Cathay, right? The reason is because there were no lizard men on this side of the map. That's the entire fucking reason. There's no reason why Nakai should be down here, apart from he is. So Nakai starts in the south of Cathay, which means he's right at the edge of the map. And also we've got sort of like, I think this is Koresh down here. So we've got Koresh down here, where obviously we don't have any, like there's no bits down here. It's all blank. Ind is the same. That's all just empty. So you can't land there or do anything like that. It's just empty landscape. But at least it's on the map, right? I mean, we've even got the south of the fucking pole, like right here. I mean, Whittle, the little skink boy. What the fuck is his name? He starts down here, like literally on the south pole, which is interesting. Anyway, so we start in the south of Cathay, and Nakai has had a little bit of a makeover, not in his general looks, apart from the fact that you're too close to the camp. You need to back... It's very hard to tell a crocodile to back up from the camera. He just likes it so much. Just wants to get up and close. He doesn't know how to take a selfie. That's the problem with a big crocodile monster. So, there's not many changes, but we have had a change in his technology. So now we get an additional percentage of vassal tribute from his technologies, which is fucking amazing. Because one of the main issues the guy had was he had no economy. You pretty much just had the one army. It's just the one army, actually. And that made it very difficult to protect your vassal, which is what you create when you attack a settlement. Because your options when you attack a settlement are you can convert it to one of 3 different types of temple under your vassal, or you can raise it. You have no other options. So what that means is that you can't even make sacking income, which is kind of a problem. Can you even raid? Nope, you can't raid because you're a lizard man. So basically there's literally nothing Nakai can do to make more money apart from just like converting settlements to his... Well, I guess you do make some money from raising, but then you have to go back and resettle it again. Do you have to... If you raise it, do you have to resettle it? Does it cost you people to colonize it? Or do you just hand it over to a vassal? I genuinely don't know the answer to that question. Oh well. So... The other thing is that the victory conditions have now changed. So, our victory conditions are destroy the Blessed Dread, the Dread Flag Fleet, the Jiangxi Rebels, over here, these guys are all undead, and then occupy, loot or raise 30 different settlements, and we'll get the short victory achieved, which will give us hero capacity +3 for all heroes, which is quite nice. We have a long campaign, which is where we need to achieve the short victory campaign conditions. We also need to occupy, loot or raise 70 different settlements, and also control... Some of these, probably, I mean, a lot of these seem to be in Lustria, which is going to be very difficult for us to actually get. But if we have military allies in that region, that's fine. Hero recruit rank is then increased by 10 for all provinces. Pretty nice. And then we have the domination campaign, where we need to occupy, loot, or raise 272 different settlements. I don't know how many settlements there are on this map, but I guess it's probably around that number. In which case, we then get campaign victory because there's no one left to fight. However, on top of that, we also have the crises. So, much like in Stellaris, where at a certain point in the end game, an event will happen. And that will then, put pressure on the entire map, and it's something to be dealt with. We've got these in Warhammer 3 now, which is fantastic, and it's various things from, like, the dwarves getting uppity and swarming out, or the wood elves, or it's just races getting uppity. I think there's like 5 or 6 different varieties so far, and I've just jacked it up to 2, so it's 200% stronger than it should be. It's normally at 100. I've jacked it up to 200, so it's 100%. So hopefully we'll get double strength crisis around turn 100 to 150. It'll give you some warning beforehand, and obviously point to what it's going to be. However, I think for Nakai, most of the crises are going to be quite far away from us, so I don't think we necessarily have to worry too much. But I thought just let me be, nice little fun bit. Okay, so we now have got a little skink shamany boy. There he is. What a lad! I do like the skinks. He's tough. I mean, of all the traits to have, that's not the. On the other hand, you do get an ancient Stegodon, so I guess that's not actually the worst trait for you to have, because like you will actually be in combat. So, all right. We'll pop you in there. Little Nakai here. I mean, Nakai is basically the littlest hobo of the Lizard Men. That's why I made that little video. And he just goes from place to place, solving problems. Mostly by bludgeoning people to death and eating them. But still, if that's not solving a problem, I don't know what is. We start off next to some wood elves. Ugh. The Spirits of Shanlin, which means there are actually new wood elf forests. There's 2, I think. 2 new wood elf forests. One here and one, I want to say over here somewhere. I think that's all. I could be wrong. So there's a couple of new wood elf forests as well on top of that, which is quite cool. So it's a little bit of extra for the wood elves. I wonder if we could make friends with you. It would cost us a little bit of cash. But I'm wondering if, I mean, we're already trespassing on these guys' territory, and these guys don't like them. So already that's going up due to our trespasses and war. So I reckon if we kill them a little bit, they'll probably, come round, be easier to... And if we can get these guys on side, I'm not so worried about Cathay, but if we can get these guys on side, then, lizard men with Way Watchers, that'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? All right, well, let's go and start by beating up these Norscan lads. They are the Wormkin. They want to be Scalies, but, there's only one scaly boy in the south of Cathay, and that's this lad. Obviously, it's the first battle of a brand new campaign, which means it's got that brand new campaign battle smell. It's like new car fresh because of all the leather, because of the... Okay, good. So, if you're watching me for the first time, one, thanks for sticking around this long, and why are you doing this to yourself? And also, I don't play these battles. I fight the battles and then I record the replays. So this is effectively what I did previously. This is past Monsters Abound, and then I just watch the replay, because that way I don't have to worry about all the fiddly little, controlling shit. I can just watch the people bludgeon each other to death, which is effectively why I play Total War. It's not for the taxing brain strategy, it's because I want to watch a giant crocodile with a power fist bludgeon a tiny muscular human to death. That's right. And effectively, these secret crocodiles are packing power fists. Like it's old one tech. And they're like, I guess I'll just wear 2 of them and, hammer people to death with my big power hands. And then, of course, we've got the normal Croxagore who just bludgeon people to death with big hammers, because why the fuck not? And then we've got Nakai, who is one of the happiest of the legendary lords. He's not like one of the Dark Elves. They're quite brooding, aren't they? No, Nakai, he has a real skip in his step, mostly when he's charging, and he just loves life. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the Jam Pack or Blood Pack yet. That is hopefully to come fairly soon, but at the time of recording, I don't have the Blood Pack. So, a little bit of a shame there. Would like watching Norscans explode into showers of blood. Unfortunately, we can't just yet. Never mind. Hopefully soon. TM. Right, so I'm holding back. There's reinforcements pouring across the bridges here. I'm holding these back with these units of Saurus. Meanwhile, I'm letting my crocodiles and the Stegodon do all the heavy lifting. So you've got some Norsca berserkers there, quite nasty, but anti-infantry. And you'll notice that crocodiles, they don't count as infantry. So they are not getting their bonus. We're getting a lot of axes thrown at us, like a lot of axes. The Stegodon is getting filled full of axes. I'm trying to pull through the spears to reach the axes, but it's not... I mean, considering that this thing has a mass of 5,100, and these guys have a mass of 180, I think they should be better at doing it. He almost reaches them, but then another volley of axes sees off the Stegodon. Fortunately, the Stegodon will be fine, just, you know, horrifically wounded. That's okay. His axes are just going to be a friggin' nightmare throughout this entire battle. However, Nakai and the Sacred Crocodile are smashing their way to victory. Smashing. Look at him. He's just skipping gaily through fields of tiny fantasy Vikings. Fantasy evil Vikings. Evil fantasy Vikings. He just loves life. It's great. So it looks like Norscans are falling back, but the Saurus are now moving in to plug their escape. That's right. You know, getting away for you little bastards. So trying to flee is not an option anymore. Which means they're not going to escape back to the city centre. They're all going to die, which is good. Okay, so far so good. Looking at numbers here, I mean, we did not start off with a big army, to be honest. Like, very, very small army. The Stegodon's back and is now bludgeoning his way through some marauders, helping out the Saurus here, which is good. They should do well. The Saurus outclass the marauders generally, although they do get nice bonuses from the city centre objective. That's going to give them 15% melee defense and more leadership, which makes them obviously harder to break. So taking that is going to be a priority for us. Pushing our Saurus up the streets. And they're pulling more units back to the city centre to try and defend it. Saurus throwing themselves in there. And the Nakai and the Crocodile bringing up the rear. Meanwhile, the Saurus here have mopped up the survivors. The Stegodon getting pretty good kills. 64. These guys 120. This is a really tough first battle for Nakai, to be honest. I am playing on very hard campaign difficulty and hard battle difficulty. Those axes, so annoying, and I've got like no way of dealing with them. I could have come up this passageway here, but then you'd probably put, like, I would have put the axes on this bridge, just throwing axes at me, and then we'd have to deal with the barricades. It's a nightmare, absolute nightmare. There's nothing I can do about them apart from just weather axes raining down on my head. My little crocodillo bonces getting axes in them, which is not ideal. The number of axes you want ideally lodged in your skull is somewhere around 0. Any more than 0 tends to not be ideal. So Crocodillos continuing to murder their way through everyone, and Nakai's broken through the line. His little skipping attack can be really useful. Can be quite risky, because he can find himself like surrounded by enemies, particularly high quality. You know, if you've got like Blackguard or something, you do not want Nakai surrounded by Blackguard, ideally. So Nakai is making a break for the objective to go and secure that. I'm hoping that's going to cause the AI to basically freak out and try and bring units back to deal with it. In comes the Stegodon, rampaging. I'm a little bit concerned because, yeah, they really want to chuck axes at the Stegodon. Fortunately, so far they've just been chucking axes at this poor Marauder Hunter. who did not want axes lodged in his skull. But yeah, they're chucking axes at the Stegodon, which I do not like. The enemy general, we need to kill him. If we kill him, I'm hoping the rest of the army will break. We've almost got this objective locked down. Obviously, once we take that, the barricades will fall, and we should then be able to reach... Because they're safe behind the little barricades, the sneaky little shits. But if we take the objective, then they ain't got no barricades. Yep. You've got no walls no more. Get them, boys. Get any time now. It's fine. Don't worry about the Stegodon. He's still got 600 health, so he's fine. Get in there, lads. Thank you. Okay. Oh, fuck's sake. There's even more bloody marauder hunters spewing out of every orifice. Who will rid me of these bastards? These axe-throwing wankers. I mean, I guess at least they're not the anti-large ones. Mind you, they are armor-piercing, so... I guess that's worse? Alright, mopping up this lot. These guys are retaking that objective. I'm sending some Saurus to go and force them off. Because they will not want to engage Saurus in melee combat. Unfortunately, these guys do have shields. So that's something. Although, I think they have... Yeah, they're shield breakers, so that reduces their defense by 25... So, they don't have much missile resistance, but there's axes lodged in their shields, apparently. Fortunately, the axe throwers are going to leg it rather than stand and fight, which means we'll still be able to catch up with them, because I think they're faster. 31, 30... Oh, no, they are faster. Okay, they are faster. But, oh, looks like they're going to engage the Saurus in melee combat, which is obviously a mistake, and they're backed up by our Power Fist Croxagors. Well, look, if you're going to lust the Dark Prince's name, do it on your own time, not mine. Do not want to see that at all. Alright, fortunately it looks like the last of the garrison is breaking and running. Oof. That was rough. Well, it's a tough first battle, particularly with the forces you've got, because you've only really got 2 infantry units and then a bunch of monsters, and they're not really the best for fighting sieges. I mean, it's fine, but you usually need a little bit more, you know, bonuses on them before they're actually... I mean, Croxagor aren't actually particularly that good, generally. I love them. They're lovely crocodillos, but they're not actually that good at low levels. Okay, so now we have an option. So we could raise the settlement, or we could settle it. For one of 3 particular Old One gods. We've got the gift for Itzel, which is going to give us, like, monster bonuses, Cold One cavalry bonuses, that kind of thing. And also give us an army ability, which lets us summon a Razordon hunting pack, which can actually be quite useful, because you can summon them, like, behind a big enemy unit, and then those Razordons can just chuck spikes at them. So that's always quite useful. We've got the gift for that one. The blue one... It's like the Mass Effect endings. That's sort of like more Winds of Magic based type shenanigans. You get a Storm of Thingamajig, which is like a Vortex ability, which is, yeah, that's alright. And then you've got Quetzals, the Old One god of baked goods, who gives you bonuses for your Saurus, Croxagor, Temple Guard, and Nakai. It also allows us to make a unit invulnerable to damage, which is quite nice. I'm going to go for just because I like beefing up my... All right, Nakai, we get it. You're Rory. Yes, I know, mate. I know. So we're going to go with this one. So we go. So we've got the Right of Allegiance. What does the Right of Allegiance do? I've genuinely forgotten. Right, all regions belonging to defenders of the Great Plan will cause attrition to their enemies. Okay, so that's quite good for defending your sort of your vassal. We've also got the Right of Mastery, which lets us recruit gives us recruit rank for Croxagor Ancients, more recruit rank for Croxagors and Sacred Croxagors. Also gives weapon strength and armor for Croxagors, so that's obviously quite nice. It does have a 20-turn cooldown though. Right of Awakening, of course, lets us summon a Slayer Mage Priest, and the Right of Rebirth, a non-replenishing army of blessed units will spawn for the defenders of the Great Plan at their capital. So obviously, if you want to use them to sort of like help out, you can. Nakai has leveled up twice, because that was quite the tricky battle. So I'm going to go for Root Marcher. That's an obvious one. I'm tempted to go for Predatory Fighter, but more Horde growth would actually be quite nice. Gets off the ground early. So I'm going to go for it. He does have Legendary Warrior, Demon Crusher, some more pen strength and charge bonus. He also gives Discourage and causes Terror. He gives the Frenzy ability for Crocs from Sacred Crocskull, which is fantastic. Love that. Adornments, which is casual replenishment and Horde growth, which is quite... Do we actually want the Horde growth, though? Because we get it there, don't we? You know what? I'm going to say we're going to... We're going to go for Inspiring Presence instead. That's what we're going to do. Now, because Nakai is a Horde, he kind of has his, like, floating castle thingy, pyramid majiggy. So we have the... Oh, what the fuck's it called? The Restored Ziggurat of Quickuten. There we go. It's like a floating battle fortress, apparently. Alright, I guess that's fine. Now, we could spend money to upgrade it immediately, or we could get some other build. I'm tempted to just upgrade it immediately, because that is going to increase our upkeep. We currently got 10% upkeep reduction, but we can increase that by another 5%. It's also going to give us more Horde growth and campaign movement range, and let us recruit Crocsagors. It's a no-brainer. And we can actually move in encampment stance as well, so we can do that, which is very nice. Research-wise, we're going to go immediately for the sequence of growth. That is going to take 5 turns, but every technology after that only costs this old one Favour resource, which we get from our settlements and doing other various bits and pieces. And obviously we grab that, then we can start getting that lovely vassal income, because we have a look at the vassal income. Currently we have 150 vassal tribute, but we can increase that over time, which obviously will be quite nice. Do we want to recruit? I guess we could grab some lads just to get us going. Oh, you've leveled up. Okay, good. Let's give you more harmonic convergence. It's not the best spell, but I'll take it. Now these guys, I'm hoping we can get them on side, because it would be nice to have the lizard boys, the tree boys, all living together in harmony. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, there is a lot of... There's 273 factions at the start of the game, or more, maybe. I think someone might have died. The turns take, you know, quite a while, but that's to be expected, to be honest, considering. Can we get a non-aggression pact with you? No, it is going up, so I think maybe eventually we will be able to get a non-aggression pact with you. So we'll just keep moving there. Unfortunately, the Stakidon is quite beaten up. Thanks, axe throwers, you bastards. But that's fine. We could recruit Crocskull. It's going to take 2 turns, though. I'm currently kind of busy. So I want to try and take out these lads ASAP. So we'll do that. And obviously, so we have the Defenders of the Great Plan. That's our, like, built-in vassal. And each one of these will have a little bit of garrison. And they also have a temple. Now, each province capital gives you 3 temples. Each other settlement gives you 1. Each normal settlement gives you 3 favour a turn. The capitals give you 6. So that's how that works. And you can see how many temples you currently have here. So you can see the little green thingy is slowly going to creep around there and give us those lovely bonuses. You also get some abilities that you can use. So, for example, we can unlock Sorrow-Scar Veteran Recruitment and also give more capacity and hero recruit rank for them. And then you can also unlock Blessed units as you go around. And same with this, so you can get some Blessed units there and Blessed units there. And then you have a core ability, which you get once you've maxed it out, which gives you big bonuses for actually not much favour, to be honest. I mean, Blessed Temple Guards cost 300 favour. This ability only costs 150. It is going to give you, like, I mean, this one isn't so useful for you, but obviously for your vassal, you know, more melee defense and leadership and attrition reduction is going to help you if you've got lots of sieges going on all over the place. Meanwhile, here we have income from post-battle loot and campaign movement range for all armies. That's obviously very, very useful. And then over here we've got Celestial Beneficence, which increases tribute from vassals by 50% and increases horde growth by 10 for all armies. To be honest, by the time you get that, the horde growth isn't that useful, but the income from vassals is going to be pretty major. So that is quite nice. And obviously you get skinks there, and you get the skink chief there, and you unlock skink units there. Ooh, slam of distinction. Get a skink oracle, which is nice. Blessed Bastiliodon. Various different units there, which is all very nice. And obviously you don't have to like pick one, you can get all of them. So you can do one for that, one for that, one for that. You get all of these all at the same time, depending on how many settlements you have access to. But obviously if you lose a settlement, you'll lose the temples associated with that, and your bonuses will drop. So you do have to try and protect your vassal. The best way of doing that is to surround yourself with allies, so that it's not as much of a problem. Because Nakai starts in the corner, he does have that benefit of like a natural defense, which is quite nice. I think we're going to move in here and attack this right away. Just yeah, I thought you'd want to kill my sticky dog. Fortunately, I don't have as many axemen this time. That first battle really is a doozy for Nakai. Oh, come on, guys. Chill the fuck out. Chill out. Hopefully doing bad things to these guys will help. Otherwise, we'll have to start giving them money. I don't really want to have to give them money. Although that is how you make friends. If that's a life hack for you. Do you want to make friends? Try giving them money. Another quite tricky siege for us. I mean, I moved as fast as possible, but they're still... They still outnumber me quite considerably. I'm glad I didn't give them more time to build up. That would have been a nightmare. So we've got marauders. There's more. Fortunately, I've only got one unit of axe throwers, which is quite nice. That's going to save my sanity. So we've got some of these marauder horsemen. Nakai skipping towards them. Give them a good old bludgeon there. Looks like they're going to bugger off before they get caught by Nakai. Let's get him out of there, because I do not want him running towards the axe throwers. So we're going to attack in two locations. We're going to attack up this pass under this bridge and grab this objective. And then we're also going to try pushing towards this objective through here. If this attack doesn't work out, then at least we'll get reinforcements coming in anyway. So Saros moving in, backed up by the Sacred Croc score. We've got a unit of Saros warriors here just to sort of like hold this back. I do not want units coming in from behind us. So these Saros are basically just going to deflect any attack. So if they want to attack, they'll have to bring forces across the bridge and attack us from the front rather than coming in from behind. This engagement should be fairly easy. We've used Primal Roar, which is the Kai's special ability. That basically makes all of the units around him go out of control, but increases their physical resistance and their melee attack considerably. Which means they turn into absolute murder machines. And if they're already in melee combat, then, I mean, it's the best time to use it, to be honest. The Kai is just rampaging through. I can't wait until we get the blood pack. It's going to be so... Not your own guys, the Kai, please. Jesus. All right. That Primal Roar has really done a number on these Marauders. They were not ready for that. Plus, of course, the Saros have very good weapon strength. At 52 and 18 armor piercing. These guys only have 15 armor, which I think means that effectively they won't have any armor, because I think it rolls a number between their maximum armor and half of their armor, and then applies the damage to that with any armor piercing going through automatically. I think that's how it works. I'm sure someone will correct me if it's not true, but that means, you know, it's pretty easy for us to murder these Marauders. They don't have much armor, and our Saros have a lot of weapon strength, especially with the Primal Roar, which increases their weapon strength. It means they're very likely to hit them, and therefore they're just going to chonk their way through them, no problem. With those units broken, we're going to push up under this bridge, which is going to then open us... I mean, they have no defenders around here. They are redeploying their forces, but they did send a lot of their forces to sort of like defend this section of the city, and we're just not attacking it. These are us pulling back a little bit just so they can cover this and potentially then be brought round to assist this attack, which seems to be going okay. Croxagors and Saros engaging the Marauder Spearmen over here, and then we use our little... We used Hockhex... I need to give him a better name. Hockhex engage the spearmen, and when the spearmen went around to prod him with spiky spears, the crocodiles then threw themselves in and engaged them. So we got rid of their sort of like their expert charge reflection, or the charge they had for a charge reflection. I mean, the crocodile's charge actually isn't that great. It's only 22, but still, it's something. The crocodiles don't really have very good like melee attack on top of that. Their weapon strength is pretty good, and they do have a 20 bonus versus infantry, which means they do pretty well against general infantry. Obviously, ideally, you don't want them fighting anti-large units like this, but backed up by the Saurus here, they should be fine, and we're breaking through. Going to buff them up with harmonic convergence, increasing their melee attack and defense considerably, making it much easier for them to hit these spearmen. Nakai and the Power Fist boys want to give these Marauder Horsemen a good fisting. Meanwhile, the Saurus infantry is going to move up and grab this objective. Of course, Nakai and the Crocodile coming up around from behind. We do have a unit of Marauders meandering around here, so we do have to deal with these. The enemy general has also thrown himself into this melee, but we've broken through. So these guys have actually now routed, which means we can push our Saurus up to engage Niles. Where's Fraser? Never mind. The Crocodile now moving over to grab this objective. Obviously, that'll knock down those towers, which are being quite annoying at the moment. I think they want to use the horsemen to like defend the objective, but they realise that would be bloody stupid, so they're just like running around, not really accomplishing much. Looks like these Marauders are actually going down to join in this engagement here, which does have the Crocodile and Saurus trying to kill off that general. In come the Marauders, but Nakai's coming in from behind. Look at that, he's just loving life. What a lad. Slamming into those Marauders from behind, which is obviously going to cause them a bit of an issue. We've also got a Stegodon coming in. I have to be careful because the Stegodon's actually only got less than 2,000 hit points, which is not really ideal. Power Fist Boy is just chasing off those Marauder horsemen. They're not horsemasters, horsemen. We grab this object down here with the Crocodile. This object is grabbed by the Saurus, which means we can leave one unit from the Saurus here to defend this, and then push two around to grab the city centre objective here, which obviously gives them that extra melee defense. They do have a couple of units of Marauders wandering around. However, our units have managed to break through on the right side of the settlement. We're just grabbing this objective here. The enemy general is going down. The Stegodon seems to be okay at the moment. If we could just knock out that general, then basically we can push across the bridge this way. At the same time, our Saurus are going to be flanking around to grab this objective. They only really have some horsemen here, which aren't really... They're not going to be able to stop the Saurus. If they chuck spears at us, it's not going to do enough damage to us to actually cause any issues. And if they attack us in melee combat, well, then they're dead. So having managed to rout the enemy general, Nakai's not particularly good at dealing with enemy generals. He's not really a duelist. His attacks are quite wide. So ideally, I'd like to get a Saurus Scar veteran to deal with enemy generals, that kind of thing. Unit of Marauders has decided to attack the Power Fist boys, which means they're going to get a fisting. It's going to be very unpleasant, especially when your fist is crackling with barely contained energy. It's a life hack for you. Don't accept a fisting if fistees' hands are one, maybe covered in a weird Mayan-esque artifact, and two, certainly not if it's crackling with unknown energy. Don't. Just say no. Just say no, kids. Okay, we're going to grab this objective. You can see these units now coming around there to grab that. The horsemen don't really know what to do. They're just sort of panicking. And now we're going to push across this bridge into the city centre. They still have a bunch of units held over here, not really doing anything. They're just sort of defending this objective, but that's not really... I'm not really going for that at the moment. And they just have a bunch of units like meandering around all over the place, not really accomplishing much. So here we are, grabbing this key building. The horsemen are just going to chuck some javelins. What were you throwing at? What were you throwing these at, guys? It'd be better if these guys had shields, but never mind. So that's almost ours. And we're also surging across the bridge, cutting off their retreats. Powerfist boys and Nakai throw themselves against the remainders of this Marauders unit, and the Saurus now pouring across the bridge. Going to help against this new, fresh unit of Marauders. I'm surprised they're still fighting, to be honest. At this point, I thought they would have routed. I mean, considering we've only lost 100, 150, and they've lost half their army. I mean, we did only start with like 500, but still. So we're chasing off a unit of Marauders over there. We've still got a couple of units left over here just to defend this in case we need it. And the enemy general is being chased down by the Stegodon, who still has 1,700 hit points, which is fine. This objective is now ours, which means they lose their defensive bonus. It's going to make it easier to kill them. Also gives us intensity, which increases our melee attack, leadership, and vigor on top of that. So our Sacred Croc score now have 52 melee attack, which is pretty good. And these guys have only got a melee defense of 28, which again isn't very good, which means we're going to basically just be chonking our way through them. We're not going to chase them across the bridge just yet. I was hoping that maybe a little bit of extra damage would just force them to rout, but they're playing hard to get. Disappointingly. If we maybe had some better spells for little Hokek here, then if we had a little bit of Wind Blast, that might have helped. Will you stop throwing spears at me, you complete bastards? God, these guys are irritating.
Stand firm!
Ugh. Like, just go away. Shoot. Ow. Jerry! He was 2 days from retirement. Alright, finally they've decided to... Well, they're trying to get away, but they left it way too late. And they're now being mauled to death by vengeful Revenge for Jerry! Alright, we're pushing round to grab this objective now. Basically, if we grab all the objectives, then we win anyway. To be honest, we'll probably win before that. But it's something to do, isn't it? Something to chase them down for. Nakai coming across... Nakai's probably our fastest unit. He's got a speed of 50. These guys have only got 46. He's not much faster, but his charge does seem to make him... like, when he does his like weird skippy charge thing, that does seem to make him move ludicrously quickly. Okay, these guys are in a lot of trouble. The Sacred Croxagore are going to be murdering them. Of course, backed up by Nakai as well. You have to be a little bit careful of those hunters. Those guys suck. So Stegodon okay? Oh, Stegodon's getting shot by the bloody tower and I haven't noticed. Nightmare. Alright, we've used Primal Roar once again, which means these guys now have 92 melee attack, which is pretty good. Marauders are being dispatched. Again, just being careful of those axe throwers down there. Sarah's throwing themselves against this unit of Marauders who have decided to come up to engage us. I think they're trying to stop us from reaching this objective. They don't really have many units left. The Kai is going for the objective there, and the axe throwers are, yep, chucking axes at us, as is tradition. The friends are fleeing, being chased by a horde of angry crocodillos and lizards, and it looks like, yep, the axe throwers not super happy with that. And finally, army losses will start taking effect. You can see the leadership there of these guys starting to drop as they're torn apart by angry lizard boys. Finally the army breaks. Good God, guys. Well, certainly a tough fight, but we managed to grind our way through them. Let's get more pretzels. Bloody Niles. And the Wormkins are dead. Now, I'm hoping that we can get these guys on side before our relations... Well, I guess we could give them money. I kind of want the money for myself. But maybe it's better to give the money while I don't have many units? I don't know. I mean, we need some time to replenish anyway. So, right, what can we build? I could build more military buildings, but I think for the moment it's best to go a little bit more infrastructure-wise. Certainly more casualty replenishment would be quite nice. And also upkeep reduction would be obviously quite potent. Army capacity and hero capacity for all heroes would be quite nice. Upkeep reduction and horde growth, that would be quite nice. I'm tempted to go for the upkeep reduction. So we could get another 15% upkeep reduction there, another 10% there. So that's 25% all in all that we have. So we can have up to about 50% upkeep reduction, which, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. So we're going to grab that bad boy. And then maybe if we give them a little bit of cash, they will, you know, give us a non-aggression pact. And hopefully we can then build upon that and build a foundation of trust. Obviously, we want more melee attack for our Croxicores because, well, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's just sensible. It's just sensible. Let's get a wind blast as well. Always good to be a little bit windy. Okay, so our options are now we could either attack the Cathay forces to our west or the Cathay forces to our north. Alternatively, we could take the sea lanes and just go somewhere else. However, if we do that, we'll probably end up at war with Cathay and they'll just take these settlements. And we won't have, I mean, we don't have to stick around it. We could leave. Like, there's a sea lane just there. We could, like, bugger off. Where does this go? Does it say? The Jade Sea... oh, it does. I was like, I wish you could double click it. Oh, yeah, we could go back to Lustria. We could, like, go, we're home, boys. So we could do that. Will you give me an non-aggression pact, you big bastards? If I just keep funneling money at you, will that help? Tell you what, if we get some... Oh, we can't. We don't have the growth. We will do next turn. Alright, let's... I just don't want wood elves all up in my shit. That's... Like, Cathay I can deal with. Cathay, no problem. Fucking wood elves? Ugh, they're the worst. Absolutely the worst. Genuinely cannot be doing with fucking wood elves. I would much prefer them to be on my side so that I don't have to fight. God, if I get the wood elf crisis, I'm going to lose my mind. It will be, won't it? Every single crisis I ever get in Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires is going to be the fucking wood elves. I can guarantee it. Going to... Oh, just the worst. Right, come on, guys. Yes. Alright, we can do that. Alright, non-aggression pact. That's then going up. That's fine. Good. Alright, secured non-aggression pact with them. We could maybe get a non-aggression pact with you guys.
For you are in the presence of celestial blood.
Okay. Now, you are trading. If we have a look, hang on.
I speak with the wisdom.
So you're trading with the Western provinces. So if we get in with you, we'll probably get in with them as well. So that could be an option. Because if we could, like, if we can knock out the factions we need to knock out here, we could always just wander off somewhere else. You know, leave this to Cathay, leave it in the safe hands, and then wander off and go do, you know, go and fuck someone else up. That's an option. No reason we couldn't do that. And I like the fact that the victory conditions are now a little bit more... Like, the short ones now feel pretty short, which means you can accomplish those without then having to worry about taking 8 random settlements dotted around the world. That, I mean, we do need to go and get Lustria, but that's fine. Okay, we've got a little bit of tribute from vassals, plus 20%, and horde growth, which means we're now making 374 from vassal tribute. Not bad. That's genuinely not a bad amount to be making from vassals, and obviously that can only increase. Now we do have 86 old ones favour. We get 8 per turn, so we could do this and just get more vassal tribute, and also that's going to give us replenishment rate as well, which is obviously quite useful. We do have a little garrison building there, which is slightly problematic. Okay, I think we want to. It is going up, but not very much.
Reverence now.
Okay, thanks. I'm just going to give you a bunch of cash. I feel like getting these guys on sides, along with the wood elves. Who else do we know? They like us. That's to be expected. Tepok. Oh, I didn't even know we met you. Hey, guys. Okay, now they start on an island with Kugath, so I don't foresee them surviving for very long, but that's fine.
Wind shape.
So we'll get these on side, and maybe we'll just say fuck you to these guys.
Authority.
They don't like our trespasses. I don't believe I did trespass, but that probably happened before the campaign. I would, if we could get like, well, you can't defend. So to be honest, you guys can't really do anything. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. But yeah, if we can get the wood elves on side, that would be quite good. I'm tempted maybe just to throw money at them until they do give us a military alliance. Let's just meander up here. We'll keep an eye on them, but I do need to replenish that Stegodon. And also, if I am recruiting units, I'm not going to have as much money to throw at the wood elves, and I would like to throw money at the wood elves. Like I'd love to stuff money down their tights, their stupid wood elf tights. Stupid wood elves, I hate them so much. That's why I'm going to give them money. It's like, leave me alone. So, more trips. So, we're now making 452. Right, that's pretty good. That's genuinely not bad. Also, we've got a recruiting shortage, so things cost more. So, to be honest, recruiting shit's probably not the best idea at the moment. This is going to cost 6,000, but will increase... well, do we want to get something else? Because we could do this. No, this. That will give us 5%. That gives us another 5%. So basically it does the same thing, but just uses one building slot, but costs twice as much. Which, yeah. Now, we don't have enough money to get the sequence of expansion, unfortunately. But we could maybe... right, sequence of creation. Now, we don't really have army capacity. We don't really need army capacity at the moment. See, now, we don't really have skinks. However, that will lead on to then more tech, and then eventually, obviously, the sequence of the Guardian, which gives us more melee attack. No, more armor for Croxagores. Does anything give more melee attack for our Croxagore boys? Our lads? Anyone? There's more levels there. Sequence of mass spawning. Maybe it doesn't. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? I was hoping to give them more melee attack. But, I mean, you know, giving Saurus more stuff is good. So we'll get the sequence of the Skirmisher. We'll go with that now. Do we just want to save money? Do we want to go for this? What do we think? What do we think? These guys aren't recruiting any more stuff. Well, you know, let's take more settlements and then we can... Oh, of course, everything's going to cost more, isn't it? All right, maybe we just save money for a few turns until things aren't as expensive. It's just a shit time to get that event, to be honest. I don't want 25 more expensive recruitment stuff. I want to recruit some lads. I mean, I want some Croxagores. Do I need more Croxagores? Arguably, no. Am I going to recruit them anyway? Yeah, it's going to happen. It has to. I love my crocodillo boys. My lads. Hello. Well, I don't want to spend money. I don't really care. Right, so I'm just going to risk more Sleb's Wrath, because fuck that. That's not... Oh, minus 13 isn't too bad. Relative faction strength, diplomatic prospects, that is going up as well. I mean... Do you like these guys? You don't have any diplomatic contact with them. What about these guys? You don't really care about them. I mean... well,
You may express reverence now.
we could potentially get... I mean, if we can get an non-aggression pact with those guys, that would be good. We can't trade, which is a bit of a shame. How long do we have that recruitment? Another 2 turns. Okay, so we could maybe get this. Or we could save some monies to maybe get that. Or we could save monies and get the shields. I'm tempted to say let's save the cash and get the shields. Because shields, I mean, obviously, if we're going to be fighting Cathay, they're going to have a lot of bow boys, and the last thing I want is to have my Saurus filled with shafts. I don't want my Saurus getting shafted, not to that degree anyway. Some shields will probably be useful. Oh.
It is acceptable.
Oh, you're building your shit, are you? Oh well, definitely should have attacked before now then. That's on me. Still got it for 1 turn. Oh, well, they're not going to do much. Well, you know, we can always siege the bastards down, can't we? So if we build this, it's going to be ready next turn, which means we can then recruit the shield boys, which is probably better than recruiting the non-shield boys. Again, because penetration... Also, it's going to give chance for my Stegedon to heal up, so... So that's good. I think we can... Oh, we can build some siege towers. We'll take them. We got Saras. They got shitty human people. Pink, no scales. No scale wankers. Oh, God. Alright. Recruitment. Oh, no. Recruitment cost reduction, but research reduction. We're going to heed the priest, because we're actually going to do some recruitment right now. That's right. I'm going to kick it off. So, let's get something like that. I think we probably... this is only going to take one turn. That'll take two. We'll recruit these guys, and then we'll immediately push and attack that settlement, I think, is what we're going to do. Let's grab the Sacred Guardians, just because I want my crocodillos to have more weapon strength and defense and all that kind of good shit. Let's get... You know what? A little bit of Thunderbolt is very, very frightening. Also might be effective on the walls. That's what I'm thinking. Might be, you know, if we got big blobs of enemy infantry, dropping a Thunderbolt on them. Probably pretty effective. Okay, use Wisdom of the Old Ones. Now, we always have only... Our construction time is only ever one turn because we're a horde, which means increasing it by 25% is effectively fucking meaningless. So obviously we're going to use the Wisdom of the Old Ones. God, those lads were smart. And also this army's buggered off, leaving this settlement mostly undefended. Now, I was going to, like... you know, build siege towers and shit. But to be honest, with just this lot, I think we can just scale the wall. Get it? Scaled because we're lizard. Good. Okay, well, that's going to have to wait until next time. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.